Hello and welcome to Distant Worlds 2. We are beginning a new playthrough, and I think this time we are gonna finally get around to playing the Boskarans or Boskara. Let me go ahead and click through this here. Here's the seed, galaxy shape, number of stars, sparse nebulas. I don't like nebulas. We're gonna do restless, extreme difficulty. We'll leave that on normal. Research speed, we are going to go very slow. We tried extremely slow. It was just too slow. Fixed research paths, tech trading off. Don't want anybody to be able to trade. And then what else do we need to change? Very many pirates. Very strong pirates. Average is fine. Respawn. Base creatures normal. Colony prevalence, normal. Well, we want rare independent colonies, because they're kind of cheaty. You just get a massive influx of population. 100%, 300. We tried 200 before, didn't work out so well. And we'll do the Boskara. So this is a race that should match with how I typically play the game, which is just very aggressive, and I attack everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and run with this and go there. So let's take a quick look at their special features. So they lose damage reduction, war spawn admiral when we declare war. Okay. Underlords, discover additional resource. Okay, so that's volcanic colony. Gain 20% empire happiness for 10 years when we conquer homeworlds. And then I assume that happens again when their homeworld moves. Interesting. When not at war. Cannibalism. So the goal is to stay at war as much as possible. Tabaraki granite is the growth resource. We start with some torpedoes. That seems to be the weapon of choice, and tends to be the weapon I choose anyway, so that works out pretty well. More options for play modes. I haven't done refugee fleet yet. I'm not going to start it today, but I should do a playthrough that does that. All right, so Cetharian Empire, we'll stick with red. All right. What are our options? Hive Mind seems to be good. The only downside is it's disruptive. So that means that there's a possibility of colony rebellions if we change leaders. However, decent amount of bonuses, not so much to research, but colony happiness, troop maintenance, stuff like that. Or we go military dictatorship. Not seeing, like, so we got some positive research, but no all research benefit or penalty. Maybe we'll start with this and change to something else down the road. Although, highly disruptive. I don't know about that. I don't really like disruptive changes. A little scary. This is pretty basic. Well, I guess if they all have disruptive changes, I might as well go Hive Mind. Not a fan of the negative 15 research, but I think we could overcome that. Alright, so we'll just go with that. Hive Mind. Might regret that later on, but we'll see how it plays out. Alright, home system normal, pre-warp, starting. All good. Let the randomness happen. Victory conditions, 75%, 70 here. All the defaults. We're gonna do late for the Shaktur, just because our tech tree is delayed, and I found that that's a better balance. And away we go. All right, typically very aggressive, reckless, and unreliable. Natural skills and weapon research, war awareness reduction. Sounds good. And volcanic home planet. We are somewhere near the center of the galaxy. Not completely in the center, but close to. Let's zoom out just a scooch. And I feel like the first tech we always go for, the hyperdrive tech. Early warp field. Because we need to get out of this rock as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and click around at a few things before we unpause the game. We can see exploration ship, construction ship, mining ship are being built. We'll let them do its thing. Take a look at our initial system. We have a rocky moon here. We have another volcanic planet that potentially is habitable. We could have 2 planets right off the bat pretty quickly. Although we can't actually colonize them right now. There is a couple carbonaceous planets here. And then a deep ocean. Nearby systems, we have several. Not too many nebulas, which is good. But it looks like we got some potential growth paths over here and down towards the center as well. So plenty of options. I think we're fairly well positioned, although there is a bit of a gap right here. But hopefully these other systems are full enough of planets that will be colonizable by us. Go ahead and unpause and let the game run. Consume and multiply. Early warp field experiments give us 50%. And research labs. Runes with the empire-wide bonus. That makes sense. Okay, we are done building our first ship, apparently. Chosen government, we have gained insights into logistics and long-range sensors. And of course, infantry on our homeworld, because why not? Okay, I'm not exactly sure why this guy's no mission if he's able to explore. You would think he would start moving around as fast as possible and start looking at things, but I'll just manually control him for now. Well, we actually probably want to survey this metallic moon here. Get some resources. Oh, good. We got the crash research, so it's going to be twice as fast as it normally would be. I'm kind of excited to play as the Boskara because I am definitely a warmonger in this game, and they are a race that's specifically built for that. I've always tried to, like, take races, and I don't play, like, I don't role play the race correctly. It's just not my style with this game, and I don't feel like you can do it with this game. If I tried to be peaceful, I feel like I would just ultimately end up getting steamrolled and lose the game. I think the only way to win the game is through aggression, because you have to expand. It's the only way. There's no, like, building tall in this game. All right, we got 80 seconds or so. Complete this initial survey. While that's happening, let's go ahead and look at our policies real quick. We want to see what's automated. Fine with leaving most things automated for now. We're going to do ship and base design automated. I'll hop in and interrupt it at some point in the future, but for now, I will leave it on automatic. Everything else seems to be set the way I normally have it. There we go. We discovered some materials. Go ahead and start scanning some other stuff. So these are predominantly... well, it's not all the resources I need, but it's some of the resources I need for construction. Right, so you're gonna build a research station, hopefully mining station as well shortly afterwards. All right, weapons, we want torpedoes. That seems to be our weapon of choice as a species. I'm gonna try fully automating this guy again, see if he starts being a little more automatic. We're almost at max pop already, I think. Oh no. We're halfway to max pop. We got a little room for growth. Hopefully we get these warp field experiments done sooner than later so we can start going realistically within our solar system, but then later on beyond. We need some fuel tech as well. Probably do 4x. I think the early game, it's fine to go a little bit faster. Okay. He really trying to go like... No, okay. Was a little worried. We are surveying our home planet. Hopefully we're going to uncover this other unknown resource. All right, spaceport is done. That means we can build a little more efficiently with the small freighters churning out. Which is interesting because we haven't actually built any mining stations yet. You know what I didn't see? I mean, I'm sure it's here somewhere. I must have missed it, but there it is. I was a gas giant. There's got to be one in every home system. Because you got to get the Caslon. All right, we did get a researcher, which is good. That's going to add to our research capacity. Definitely sped up the warp field experiments. It made such a big difference. That extra 22, like tripled our research. All right, so he's restocking and then going to build another mining station over here, which is good because then that gives our cargo shuttle something to do. All right, we did find another resource. I'm going to build a couple exploration ships just to get the ball rolling on that. I know it's going to put us a little behind economically, but the sooner we can explore, the faster we can expand. We'll have to retrofit all these guys once this is done. All right, another exploration ship is done. Soon to be ready to pop over to warp field experiments. Where are you going to survey? This guy here? Well, that's fine. We'll retrofit in just a minute. All right, we got our first hyperdrive tech. Seems like a lot of years. I'm not ready to invest in that yet. I mean, research labs doesn't seem that far off comparatively. Do that, and then commerce. Actually, commerce can go down the list. We need armor and deflectors. And then probably weapons shortly afterwards. Alright, everybody's doing their thing. Hopefully retrofitting. Yep, everybody's heading back into retrofit. Alright, mining station is done. Means the resources will start piling up. Okay, mineral miners now have... Did they not retrofit? This is the retrofitted one. Skip drive. Perfect. You also have a skip drive. So what is your range? You're full on fuel. All right, still just our local system, which is expected. But we can now scan the entire system. We're not limited to just our asteroid field. All right, hopefully we get enough discovered here so that we can do this. Start mining the Caslon. We're going to need plenty of it. Next year, mining bonus. Very nice. 50% mining rate. That's pretty good. Critical research breakthrough. I will take that. And that's just going to make our future research better, so that's a win-win all the way around. All right, we're going to build a couple of construction ships and a couple more survey ships. Get those out there. We're going to run into pirates relatively soon, and they're going to start destroying our ships, so I'd rather overbuild and then lose a couple rather than underbuild. Like I said, the quicker we discover the resources, the sooner we can get out there and start mining it. We definitely want that. But we know we need this because we need the Mebnar. But then we are also going to need the Caslon. Alright, mining station is up and running. That should give us most of the raw materials we need for building these basic ships. We look at resource shortages, we could see we're doing pretty good on most of this stuff. Mebnar's going up. Steel's definitely going up. Looks like we have another item we can potentially scan here. Alright, mining station is getting up and running. That should give us some good resources here, and that'll make our economy expand here. Okay, we are... Quality, unfortunately, is not great. But we are finding some new resources. Kind of hoping one of these planets would be colonizable. Sadly, no. But we can definitely get the materials from it. The question is, what are we going to spend the money on? I could build more ships right now, but I don't really want to. The exploration ships are going to run out of things to do before we can expand out of our home system, so we're just wasting resources building those early. And construction ships, kind of the same boat. Already built 3 of them, and all 3 are building on the only 3 things that are worth building. So that seems to be at a rate that is decent. Outside of that, I really don't know what else to spend the cash on at the moment. We could build defenses, but that's just going to get ripped apart by pirates. So it's not really worth it. Don't think there's any other science nope, nothing discovered yet. Looks like the private economy is starting to build up some small freighters and stuff. We got 15, 13, 5, and 8. Total of 26 ships. That's going to go up as these mining stations finish, because you're going to need more ships to go harvest the stuff, bring it back. Actually, it might be worth shuffling around our research a little bit and get the stable warp fields and get the warp bubble generator up and running before anything else, just so that we can actually leave our initial starting system and start exploring out a little bit deeper into space. All right, we are up to 32 ships and growing. The private sector is continuing to expand. A couple more small freighters kicking out. I think we are wrapping up our initial expansion here. Although there is some more surveying happening over here. I'm guessing, yep, another asteroid belt. So that'll keep him occupied for a little bit. All right, we are about done with the research tech. The warp field generator, not generator, but the next warp tech was 14.8 years. Let's see what it looks like after this research lab is done. Not a huge jump. It's usually 20 to 30%, I think. All right, that is taken care of. Our number has not gone up yet. We did crash research it though. That happened automatically, it looks like. Or no, we spent the money on it, maybe? Either way, there's no going back now. It is the next tech, whether we want it or not. Because once it's crash researched, you can't change the tech. Right, storage system's probably a good idea to get that up and running sooner than later. We might end up stealing that before it happens. But we'll add it to the hopper. I'm hoping we'll see pirates somewhat soon so I could get my spies going. My spy going. Private economy is still growing. We're at 40 total, 41 total ships. And growing. So as long as we keep scaling that accordingly, should be okay. The sooner we can get out of the system, the better off we're going to be. Because we've already explored everything we can. Once this starts getting closer to being done, I need to churn out a bunch more exploration ships. Just to be prepared to go out here and start exploring stuff. We know we're going to run into... I mean, we could see there's already pirates right here. Which is like tragically close to our home planet. At least early on, that's pretty rough. All right, looks like we pegged out at around 42. I don't see any more ships being built. It's probably finished getting the ratio that it needed to get all the current mining stations that are built. I think it builds a certain amount per mining station just to shuttle resources back and forth. Looks like we're doing okay on resource accumulation. We should be ready to expand as soon as this is done here. Sadly, this part is just like we just wait for it to happen, which is a little unfortunate. But once it happens, like once we get out of our initial solar system, things start to like exponentially grow. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and looking forward to exploring and planning for expansion relatively soon. Although I am a little sad our home system didn't have I saw that other volcanic planet. I was hopeful we'd have something in our own system, but it doesn't look like that is the case. All right, let's go ahead and queue up a couple. We'll do 10 exploration ships, 5 construction ships. We'll leave it at that for now. That's probably going to consume all of our current positive cash flow. But then we'll be prepped and ready to expand as soon as things are done. Although they're all going to have to retrofit with the new drive, but retrofitting is much quicker than building off the bat. So it's probably better to have the ships built out and ready to go. 3 more years or almost 4. Be ready to move on to the next stage. All right, we are getting close. Not quite there yet, but 2.1 years left, and most of the exploration ships are done. Got a couple more construction ships we want to churn out, and it looks like the AI is getting ready to put on a mining ship afterwards. So hopefully the timing will sync up pretty well, and we'll be able to kind of pop right out of our home system pretty quickly. Alright, our last construction ship is churning out. We are at 92%, 180 days left, and then there is a mining ship that is popping out after that, which means our timing is pretty solid. We should be able to start retrofitting and sending ships out pretty much immediately. So we'll just monitor that for a little bit and be good to go. All right, let the retrofitting and pinging all over our neighbors begin. Looks like we can, because we have so much cash in the bank, we can afford to automatically crash research. So I'm glad that's happening. All right, first exploration ship is done. Warp bubble generator. How far can that get? Oh yeah, we got pretty solid range now. So we are hovering all over, but here come the pirates. We knew this was going to happen the minute we got warp up and running. The only downside here is I don't know if we're going to retrofit quick enough for everybody to get out before the pirates start damaging our ships here. Are they actually in our system yet? All right, let's I don't want to send them a gift. They don't like us enough for treaty. Our first contact is our own species. That's funny. All right, well, let's see what we can do about I don't want to dismiss him. I just want to cancel his mission. Hidden Rock Mercenaries. Let's steal some research. Looks pretty bad. Another new spy. That's good. Let's see if the Thickness Council is any better. Actually worse. So let's go try to steal from these guys instead. We'll do basic commerce. And then we'll let these guys do the same thing. Pretty abysmal odds here, but we're gonna try anyway. All right, got some border cars floating around there. Starting to discover all the other little alien species. Another pirate faction showing up. Everybody's showing up to the party. Hoping my construction ships retrofit and... Okay, they already did. Well, hopefully they get out of there. Looks like they're harassing each other mostly, which is great. If I can accidentally knock one of them out, that would be just incredible. Alright, the pirates are starting to roll in. How's the mining situation? Looks like we're heading out there to start constructing, which is exactly why I built these extra construction ships. Give them something to start doing right away, which is going to keep expanding our economy. Have not found any new colonies yet, unfortunately. Not that we could actually colonize them yet, but once we know they're out there, we can refocus our efforts. You know, the pirates are not being as aggressive as I should be a little more careful with what I say, because they're going to immediately start going after me, but... we can see as soon as we discover these new things, we see our construction ships taking off, loading up and getting out. All right, we got independent traders, independent colony here, huh? Powerful artifacts. Right, they distrust us. That'll get better over time. Where are they at? Hopefully close, although I can't... Yeah, they are pretty close. I can't actually colonize them until I discover the tech. But I might be able to make them... No, they don't like us. I don't think we're ever gonna be okay with them. I am shocked to see that we actually evaded detection and got that. Hidden Rock Mercenaries have us, unfortunately. I mean, I've got the money. Although this is a lot of money for a spy that potentially isn't any good. Or is minimally good. Let's just double check our spy settings. All right, high aggressiveness, low caution. Just steal research. It looks like they're doing exactly what I want for the most part. Our first Hexadorium find. You can see some craziness going on here. So the freighters are definitely queued up. Looks like our defense strength is pretty good, so I'm guessing nobody's going to be messing with us anytime soon as far as planetary invasions. Evaded detection, stole some basic troop transport stuff. Nice. Look at this, it's almost done. Alright, once we get transport systems done, then we can get basic troop transports for pretty cheap. Which is good, because we're going to need it to take over that other planet. Alright, now the pirates are really climbing in there. We lost a couple construction ships, unfortunately. Looks like we're about to lose another one. So many ships that are needing to be built, but we can't actually build. Like, look at this construction queue. It is quite absurd. All right, they are invading or trying to invade our spaceport. All right, can I become friendly with these guys? No. They want nothing to do with friendship. I mean, they are really trying to get us here. Look at them just piling in on my, They just gave up and took off after annihilating a bunch of our freighters. Quite unfortunate. We can see we still have 93 private ships there. Storage system up and running, or getting researched. That's gonna help. That's gonna get us even further out. We've lost several exploration ships, unfortunately. All right, well, I think that's a good first start. We have our planet, we got our spaceport, we have a queue that is never-ending of production. We've been cash positive the whole time. Research is, you know, getting out there. We do have a research center up and running. We are exploring and expanding. Unfortunately, we are losing a couple spies, but we can see we are kind of exploring this whole quadrant of the galaxy. A couple pirates in the area, which is not great. They're definitely not happy with us, which is another kind of downside, but we'll navigate through it. I think it'll be okay. But thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to see more content in the future, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.